Good morning, students. Here we are discussing the first chapter of our second book, Constitution, Why and How. And yesterday we have discussed the first two topics of this chapter. First one is the what is Constitution, and second one is the what is law. And today we start this chapter with a new topic: why do we need a constitution? So we have discussed the meaning of the constitution yesterday, and we also discussed the law, what is law basically, and we also discussed that why we need constitution. Constitution has two main aspects. We have discussed this topic also. Role of constitution we have discussed, like here the different organs of the government we have discussed. What are the different organs of the government? Like first one is the legislative, second one is the judiciary, third one is the executive. We have discussed all of them. So today we start with the Constituent Assembly. What was the Constituent Assembly, how it was framed, and how Constituent Assembly make the Constitution of India. So let's start with the Constituent Assembly today. So Constituent Assembly, the Constitution of India was framed by a Constituent Assembly. So basically the Constitution of India was framed by a Constituent Assembly. किसने बनाया था Constitution of India? Constituent Assembly ने. There was an assembly which was made to frame the Constitution of India, which was established in 1946. So Constituent Assembly was established in 1946 under the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. So the Constitution of India was framed by a Constituent Assembly which was established in 1946 under the Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946. There was a Cabinet Mission Plan 1946 proposed by the British government. British government ने एक plan जो है propose किया था, that was called Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946, and under this mission plan it was decided to make a Constituent Assembly to frame the Constitution of India. और इसी Cabinet Mission Plan के अंदर ये decide हुआ था कि there should be a Constituent Assembly to frame the Constitution of India. Then functions of the Constitution. What are the various functions of the Constitution? Before we start the functions of the Constitution, I want to give a brief introduction about the Constituent Assembly. Like Constituent Assembly was made under the Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. In June 1946 there was an election for the Constituent Assembly. एक election हुआ था Constituent Assembly का June 1946 में. On 9 December 1946 first meeting of Constituent Assembly. तो Constituent Assembly first time जो first meeting जो हुई थी Constituent Assembly की वो कब हुई थी? 9th November 1946 basically. It took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. It took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame the Constitution of India. Constitution of India was ready on 26 November 1949. When it was ready, Constitution of India was ready on 26 November 1949, but it was adopted on 26th of January 26th Jan 1950. कब adopt किया था हमने? 26 Jan 1950. That's why 26 January is always celebrated as Independence Day in India. So from here we start some of the functions functions of Constitution basically. So the first very function of the Constitution is to provide a set of basic rules that allow for minimal degree of coordination and assurance amongst members of the society. So Constitution laid down certain rule and regulations. As we have discussed in the last chapter also, in the chapter of freedom also, that a society needs certain kind of rule and regulation to maintain a balance, to maintain a coordination among the member of the society. So here Constitution provide a set of basic rule and regulations which is essential for a coordination or balance in the society. The second one is to specify who has the power to make decision in the society. Second one, who has the power to make decision in the society, means who has the power to make laws in the society, who has the power to make decision in the society, because it is not possible that every person can take decision in the society. ये तो possible नहीं है कि हर कोई decision लेने लगेगा society में, it is not possible. So constitution specify who has the power to make decision in the society, किसके पास power है जो कि society के regarding जो है decisions ले सके. Like who has the power? The government has the power. The elected government has the power to make decision in the society. The third one is to set limitation on the government, to set some limitation on the government, as we have discussed yesterday also, that constitution makes certain rule and regulations for the government also, and government has to function within these limits. तो constitution एक लिमिट सेट करता है किसके लिए? गवर्नमेंट के लिए, और गवर्नमेंट को उस लिमिट में रहकर ही अपना काम करना है. टू सेट लिमिटेशंस ऑन द गवर्नमेंट, बिकॉज इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल दैट कि हम गवर्नमेंट को टोटली फ्री कर दें एंड वट एवर दे वॉन्ट टू डू दे कैन डू, तो इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल. सो गवर्नमेंट भी जो है उसको किसके अंडर काम करना है? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. दे हैव टू फॉलो द रूल एंड रेगुलेशन एंड इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. द फोर्थ वन इज़ to enable the government to fulfill the aspiration of a society and create conditions for the society. Fourth one is to enable the government to fulfill the aspirations of the society. Like every society have some aspiration from its government. हमारी कोई भी गवर्नमेंट है, हमारे कुछ ना कुछ उनसे एस्पिरेशंस हैं, कुछ ना कुछ हमारी उनसे डिमांड हैं, एंड दिस इज़ द ड्यूटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट टू फुलफिल द एस्पिरेशन ऑफ द सोसाइटी. और ये किसी भी गवर्नमेंट की ड्यूटी है, बिकॉज दे आर इन पावर एंड दे आर इलेक्टेड बाय द पीपल ऑफ द कंट्री. और जो लोग हैं कंट्री के, जो सिटीजन्स हैं कंट्री के, उन्होंने उनके ऊपर फेथ जो है अपना जो है दिया है उनको. सो इट इज़ द ड्यूटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट टू फुलफिल द एस्पिरेशन ऑफ ए सोसाइटी and create conditions for the society. Create conditions for the society means that everyone in society can live with harmony. कि एक ऐसी कंडीशन जो है सोसाइटी में क्रिएट करे गवर्नमेंट कि जो सभी सिटीजन्स हैं वो पीसफुली जो है सोसाइटी में जो है रह सकें. द फिफ्थ वन इज़ टू एक्सप्रेस द फंडामेंटल आइडेंटिटी ऑफ द people, to express the fundamental identity of the people. What is our fundamental identity? That we are Indians. We have our Aadhaar card, we have our ration cards, we have our passports. So we have an identity that we are the citizens of India. So these are the functions of the constitution basically. The next one is, why do we need a constitution? Why do we need a constitution? So here the answer, the question is, why do we need a constitution? And the answer to this question is, constitution define the power and function of the various organ of the government. As we have discussed yesterday, that we have three organs of the government: legislature, judiciary and executive. Legislature, judiciary and executive are three organs of the government, and constitution define the power and functions of the various organs of the गवर्नमेंट. और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन स्पेसिफाई करता है उनके पावर और फंक्शंस को. लाइक इन एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एवरी पर्सन हैज़ सम लाइक अथॉरिटी एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. हम किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाते हैं तो हर पर्सन के साथ क्या जुड़ा हुआ है? कुछ अथॉरिटीज़ जुड़ी हुई हैं और कुछ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ जुड़ी हुई हैं. इन द सेम कंडीशन द थ्री ऑर्गन्स ऑफ आवर गवर्नमेंट हैव सर्टन authorities and certain responsibilities. And who defines these? Constitution define the power and function of various organ of the government. Second one, constitution define the right of the citizens and their relationship with government. Like second one, the constitution provide us the fundamental rights. Who provide us the fundamental right? It is the constitution which provide us the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights to its citizens and their relationship with the government. Means what is the relationship of a citizen with the government? What are the various duties of the government toward their citizens? And it also tell us about our fundamental duties. So constitution define the right and duties of a citizen and their relationship with the government. The third one is, it generate trust that is necessary for different kind of people to live together. As we are discussing from the beginning that society is not homogeneous. there are some weaker sections, there are some powerful sections, there are some poor, there are some rich, there are some minorities, there are some majorities. So it generates trust that is necessary for different kind of people to live together. So constitution make various provisions in the society so that people belong to different sects of the society can live together. भैया माइनॉरिटी और मेजॉरिटी भी इकट्ठे रह सकें, रिच और पुअर भी जो है एक साथ रह सकें, और पर्सन फ्रॉम डिफरेंट रिलीजन्स दे कैन लिव टुगेदर. तो इनके लिए जो रूल एंड रेगुलेशन है कौन क्रिएट करता है? इट इज़ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है बिकॉज वी हैव द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रोवाइड अ सर्टन काइंड ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स, एंड just because of this constitution we are living together. So we can say it generate trust that is necessary for different kind of people to live together. Because if a minority is living with the majority, कोई minority अगर majority के साथ रह रही है एक जगह पे, like there are a lot of areas in our country where some sects of the society are in minority but they are living there because they have trust on their constitution. They know if something wrong will happen with us, then we can take the help of the law, we can take the help of the constitution. क्योंकि उनको पता है, उनके अंदर एक ट्रस्ट बिल्डअप है, अगर हमारे साथ कुछ भी गलत हुआ तो देयर इज़ अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, देयर इज़ अ लॉ जिसकी हम हेल्प ले सकते हैं. And the next one is it specifies how the government will be constituted, which means who will have the power and what decision will they be responsible for. So constitution also tell us about the how the government will be constituted. Then how we can make the governments. हम एक गवर्नमेंट को कैसे कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं, क्या उसका रोल है, क्या उसके डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर्स हैं, और क्या क्या उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ हैं, क्या क्या उनके पास अथॉरिटीज़ हैं. सो दीज आर द वेरियस लाइक वी कैन से points or we can say the answer to why do we need a constitution. So from here we can say that why do we need a constitution? Constitution is very important for a country, for a democracy. Further, why do we need a constitution? It lays down limitations on the power of the government and make the citizen aware of their right. As we have discussed that the power of the government, they are not unlimited, they are also limited. A government has to function within its limits. A government को भी क्या है, फंक्शन करना है अपनी लिमिट्स के अंदर, उसकी पावर अनलिमिटेड नहीं है. एंड वो कहाँ से है, मतलब कैसे वो अनलिमिटेड है? जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, बिकॉज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लेज डाउन सम रूल एंड रेगुलेशन ऑन द पावर ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, एंड साइमल्टेनियसली इट प्रोवाइड अस आवर फंडामेंटल राइट्स. सो there is a check and balance, there is a check and balance in our government. So there are some provisions in constitution which put some restrictions on the power of the government, like fundamental rights. Like government cannot suspend our fundamental rights. Government हमारे fundamental rights को suspend नहीं कर सकते, but in the case of emergency, government can suspend our some of the fundamental rights. Like we have discussed that Article 20, right to life, Article 20 and 21. Government cannot suspend these two articles. इन दो articles को government कभी भी suspend नहीं कर सकती. In any circumstances, government do not have any power to suspend these fundamental rights basically. So government has certain restrictions, certain limitations. And who put these restrictions and limitation? It is our constitution. Second one is it expresses the aspiration of people for building a good society, as we have discussed earlier also this point. So it expresses the aspiration of the people for building a good society. Third one is it defines the nature of political system of a country. So what type of political system we have in our country? We have a democratic parliamentary form of government. हमारे यहाँ किस टाइप की गवर्नमेंट है? डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट है. व्हाट टाइप ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट? वी हैव अ फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर. वी हैव three sets of government basically. One is the central government, then different state governments, and third level of the government is the Panchayat Raj. So who defined this? The Constitution defined this. It defined the nature of political system of a country. Next one is it provides a set of rules that allow the minimum coordination amongst member of society. We have discussed this point also. It enables the government to fulfill the separation aspiration, sorry, there is aspiration, not separation, aspiration of society and create condition for just society. So it create a just society. What is just society? Now the question is just society क्या है? Just society है जहाँ पे equality, just society is based on equality, social equality, political equality, financial equality, economic equality, legal equality. This type of society is known as just society. So who create just society? Who create the conditions for just society? It is the Constitution which create the condition for just society. So this is why do we need a constitution basically. Now the main features of the Indian Constitution. Now we will discuss the main features of Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India has some distinct and unique feature as compared to other constitution to the world. Dr. Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chairman of drafting committee, puts it, the farmers had tried to accumulate and accommodate the best features of other constitution, keeping in view the peculiar problems and needs of our country. One thing I want to tell you students here that our constitution is bag of borrowings. हमारे constitutions को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Bag of borrowings, because we have taken the best things from the different constitution. हमने अलग अलग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से जो भी उनके बेस्ट फीचर्स थे उनको इकट्ठा करके एक जगह पे अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया है. You can see here the farmer had tried to accumulate and accommodate the best features of other constitutions. So the best features of other constitution. So हमने क्या किया है, जितने भी वर्ल्ड के जो अलग अलग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, while we are making our constitution, जब हम अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना रहे थे तो कौन बना रहा था? कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली वॉज मेकिंग द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया. और जो डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर थे वो कौन थे? चेयरमैन ऑफ ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी, जिन्होंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को लिखा था, ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी के चेयरमैन थे. सो एट दैट टाइम व्हाइल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली वाज मेकिंग द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, तो जो फार्मर्स थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इंडिया के, बेसिकली जो मेंबर्स थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली के, उन्होंने उस टाइम पे अराउंड द वर्ल्ड जितने भी बेस्ट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस थे उनमें से कुछ ना कुछ हर एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में से जो उनका बेस्ट पार्ट था उसको पिक किया और हमने उसको अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में स्पेस दिया, एक जगह दी. दैट्स वाई आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज ऑल्सो नोन एज बैग ऑफ बोरोइंग्स. बैग ऑफ बोरोइंग्स मीन्स हमने बोरो किए हैं जो इम्पोर्टेंट फीचर्स हैं, जो बेस्ट फीचर्स हैं डिफरेंट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस के, वी हैव बोरोड दैम. हमने उनको इकट्ठा करके एक बैग में डाल दिया और अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया वहाँ से. मेन फीचर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सो द फर्स्ट वेरी फंक्शन इज partially rigid and flexible. Our constitution is partially rigid and flexible. What does it mean? We are not flexible as the constitution of Britain. हम इतने भी flexible नहीं है कि जितना ब्रिटेन का constitution है, because they have an unwritten constitution, and we are not rigid as the US constitution. और ना ही हम इतने rigid हैं जितना कि US constitution है कि उसमें changes करना बहुत ज़्यादा difficult है. So here we can say that we can make changes in our constitution as per requirement. हम अपने constitution में changes कर सकते हैं as per requirement, and these changes are known as the amendment in the constitution. These changes are known as amendment in the constitution. So we can amend our constitution as per the requirement. Requirement के according हम अपने constitution को amend कर सकते हैं. There are lot of examples of amendment in the constitution. 42nd amendment is known as the mini constitution. Write down students. 42nd amendment of Indian constitution is known as the mini constitution. It came into existence during the emergency. Emergency के time पे we will read it in detail. हम इसको पढ़ेंगे डिटेल में भी. So we can amend our constitution like recent GSTs and bill, like we can amend triple talaq, तो हम उसको amend कर सकते हैं अपने constitution को. It is partially rigid and flexible, but we can amend with a proper process. हम इसको amend कर सकते हैं लेकिन इतना भी easy नहीं है इसको amend करना. We can amend it with a proper process. Second one, it is federal in form but unitary in spirit. This is very important to understand. And you already read it in your 9th class. आप इसको 9th क्लास में इसको एज अ फंक्शन पढ़ चुके हैं. It has federal as well as unitary features. So it is federal in form but unitary in spirit, we can say that. Like we have a federal form of government, we have one central government and then different state government. So we have federal structure in our country, but unitary in spirit. If we talk about our constitution, it is unitary in spirit, means the central government has more power than the state government. The financial powers and other some powers are with the central government. Like in the time of emergency, we behave like a unit. अगर कोई emergency हमारे ऊपर कोई external emergency आ जाती है, तो in that conditions we behave like a unit. Like recent example, COVID-19 is the very recent example. First lockdown was made by the central government in an entire country. पहला जो lockdown था वो किसने impose किया था? Central government ने. Our PM declared the lockdown in entire country. So during the time of emergency, we behave like a unit. So this is the second feature of our constitution. It is federal in form but unitary in nature. We have different state governments and they are free to take their decision respective to their states. वो अपने अपने states में अपने अपने decisions ले सकते हैं. Like in Haryana we have a government, like in Rajasthan we have a government, like in Punjab another we have a government. They are free to take their decision regarding their state matters. But at the time of emergency, we can say that only central power has the power to take the decisions. Third one is the Constitution of India is supreme, which is respected and accepted by all the institution and citizen of India. Means this is the supreme document. Supreme means no one is above the Constitution. Constitution से ऊपर कोई भी नहीं है हमारी country में. Not even the president is above the Constitution. Constitution is the supreme. Longest written Constitution we have. Sorry, world's longest written Constitution we have. Democratic Republic, we are a democratic republic country. We adopted democracy from the beginning and we were the supporter of the democracy. और हम starting से ही democracy के supporter थे. And we have a republic nation. Republic here means head of the nation is elected. Head of the nation जो है, who is the head of the nation? The president is the head of the nation. And who is the head of the government? Prime Minister is the head of the government. Make it clear. Don't be confused. Head of the nation is president. The first citizen of the country is president. And we are a republic nation because our head of nation is elected, not nominated. Next one is parliamentary system of government. We have a parliamentary system of government. We have two houses of parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then fundamental rights we have in our constitution. Then we have fundamental duties, 11 fundamental duties we have, 6 fundamental rights we have in our constitution. Initially we have 7 fundamental rights. Starting में हमारे पास कितने थे? 7 fundamental rights थे, but right to property was deleted. उसको हमने delete कर दिया. Secular state. Secular state here means we do not have any state religion. हमारे पास कोई state religion नहीं है. We are a secular state. Means every religion are treated equally. सभी religions को हम equally treat करते हैं. We are a secular state. And independent judiciary. We have discussed it yesterday also. How we can say our judiciary independent. We have an independent judiciary, very powerful judiciary, because the removal of the judges in our judicial system is not easy. And then we have single citizenship. What do you mean by the single citizenship? Like we have a single citizenship, that is of India. We are the citizens of India. We can move in our country. We can settle in any part of our country. So these are some main features of the constitution. So this is for today, students. I hope you get all the points and read it, watch this video carefully and try to understand the concepts. And if you have any doubt, you are free to take your doubts. So thank you, students. Have a nice day. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you very much.